the recommendations feature, how it works. In this skinny-driven Livin video, we will demonstrate how the SDL recommendations feature works. This video is best understood after watching the recommendations feature what it does video. Before initiating our splurge, let's take a look at our example client's daily summary. Click on the Settings tab. This displays settings you can adjust to tailor the recommendations feature. 14 days is the default splurge savings period, but it can be changed if desired. We will leave it at 14 days. Since we sometimes splurge when we didn't plan to, the SDL system allows you to select today, yesterday, or the day before as your initial splurge day. SDL treats a splurge as a 3-day event. We will begin our splurge period today. After saving the changes, click on the Recommendations tab. Our client has 2,206 calories left to keep the calorie goal. This is the 1,470 extra saved calories plus 736 calories to go just to reach their deficit goal for today. Before setting today as the splurge day, this screen would state that no splurge date has been selected. The Recommendations feature recommends foods from the Favorite Foods tab. To add a food to your favorite foods list, click on the Add Food button and search the databases for your desired foods. Once a food has been added to the Favorite Foods list, it can be searched in the Favorite Foods database. Our example client will select Bud Light, Pizza Hut Pizza for this recommendation. There is one crucial point to note here. The databases do not reliably list if there is alcohol in a food item. Alcohol plays a large role in inducing appetite, so be sure to check the Has Alcohol box because it will make a significant difference in the recommendation. Click the Make Recommendation button. Now you will see an initial recommendation. Since the system does not know exactly how you want to spend your spendable calories, it selects one serving for each of the favored foods by default. If there are several favored foods, it will give the remaining calories to the last favored food. If there are not enough calories for a single serving of each food, it will simply stop when the calories run out. There are 2 ways to change the way the calories are spread out. Simply change the number of servings in the servings field next to a favorite food and click Change Recommendation, or change the percentage distribution by putting a percent number in the percentage field to the right of the favorite food. For example, if we want 50% of the spendable calories to go towards Bud Light, enter 50% in the percentage field and click Change Recommendation. You can play with these numbers as much as you want until you reach a recommendation that you like. Click the Add Foods Diary button to conveniently add the foods to your food diary. You have probably noticed that the calories do not actually add up to 2,206. SDL has designed the system so that the combined calories spent on the favored food and the induced appetite food add up to the available splurge calories. Day 1. During the splurge cycle, the client summary information changes. The system expects you to spend the extra saved calories and automatically updates the summary page to display the increased amount of calories you can eat, which is 1,470 calories in our example client's case. If you do not eat all 1,470 calories on the first day, the system automatically rolls the remaining calories over to the second day and even the third day. Any unused splurge calories remaining after the third day will be lost, and you will have to start saving again. So we have up to 2,206 calories to consume to bring our average caloric deficit back to 500 calories for the past 14 days. It isn't necessary to actually consume every calorie in your splurge budget. Day 2. Let's take a look at the summary information on Day 2 of our example splurge. Until yesterday, the total daily calorie burn for this client was 2,936 calories, but today it is 2,964 calories, an increase of 28 calories. The recommendations feature increase the person's BMR to reflect an increase in metabolism that may occur after a splurge. On Day 2, the client has eaten 1,200 calories. Normally, the client would have 1,764 calories left to break even, minus the target deficit of 500, leaving 1,264 calories to reach the daily maximum calorie intake. But the recommendations feature rolled over the remaining 585 extra calories, bringing the calories remaining up to 1,849. Looking to the More Information panel, you can see that the client's average daily deficit has come down from 605 to 504, above the target deficit of 500. You could stop splurging here and remain on track with your original weight management goals. The changes that you see on the summary page on day 2 also occur on day 3. On day 4, the splurge is over, and the summary page returns to its usual format. If you don't want the recommendations feature to estimate any changes in your metabolism, you can turn this option off. Click on the settings and select No in the drop-down menu next to Include BMR Changes. Click Save, and you will see the total calorie burn return to the pre-splurge value. Adjusting the settings. After completing a few splurges using the recommendations feature, you might notice the need to tailor the recommendations more specifically for your body. For example, the SDL system assumes a certain amount of impact on your appetite and metabolic rate due to the splurge and the composition of foods. By default, the appetite sensitivity setting is 0, but you can increase or decrease your sensitivity to your specific needs. Turning down the sensitivity to -5 will effectively turn off this option, and the recommendation will match the daily value of calories you need to burn. Turning up the sensitivity will assume you have a more induced appetite, and the feature will cut back on the recommendations to compensate. The same applies to the BMR sensitivity. If you decrease it to -5, the feature is effectively turned off, and the metabolic rate will not be changed for the 2 days following the splurge. If you increase the sensitivity, the system will assume you have a higher metabolism and adjust the feature accordingly. Use the recommendations feature to splurge smartly, and you can eat whatever you want without breaking your weight loss goals. Thank you for watching this Skinny-Driven Livin video. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us and/or post a question in this video's thread in the SDL forum.